Hi everybody, and welcome to our Facebook Live event all about dining. So my name's Tiffany Hartz and I'm here with Shane and Kim, and we're going to talk to you and answer all of the questions you probably have about our dining program at KSU, what meal plans we have here, what our hours of operation are going to look like this fall, and some of our safety precautions that you can expect to see when you return this fall in just a couple of days. Move-in is just a couple days away. So before we dive in, I want to make sure that my co-hosts get to introduce themselves. So first up, I'm just going to reiterate, my name's Tiffany Hartz. I work on the marketing team for Campus Services. You've probably seen me in some of our other live events or on orientation this summer. And these are my co-hosts. So this is Shane.
Hi, I'm Shane Collins. I'm the director of the residential dining program, so help oversee the Commons, which is our all-you-care-to-eat facility on the Kennesaw campus, and Stingers, which is on the Marietta campus as well. And I have been with KSU for about 3.5 years now.
Awesome.
And I'm Kim Thompson. I'm the Director of Dining Administration here with KSU Dining, and I oversee the meal plan program here at KSU, and I've joined the team with Shane about 3 years ago.
Awesome, great. Thank you so much for being here today. I know our families and our students at home, they've had questions all summer long about what to expect for the fall, especially, what are they going to get to eat on campus. Dining at KSU is one of the things we are most famous for, and students are excited to come and eat our food, so I think we're excited to get to talk to you all about that today. So first things first, before we dive into what our meal plans are and what you can expect this fall, I want to introduce our dining video. So if you are a student, you probably saw this during summer orientation as you went through your online modules. But for everyone else, this is probably the first time you're seeing this, and this video highlights our dining program here at KSU and some fun things you can expect this fall. So we'll roll to that tape.
Welcome to KSU's award-winning dining program, which is ranked as one of the best in the nation. At KSU, our chefs source fresh ingredients for the menus served at our 2 dining halls, Stingers at Marietta campus and the Commons at Kennesaw. And many of those ingredients are sourced from local and regional farmers and food artisans. In addition to our dining halls, we've partnered with popular national brands like Chick-fil-A, Moe's, and Starbucks to bring some of your favorite restaurants to campus. And Grubhub will help make it easy for you to get it all to go. At our dining halls, our rotating menus offer a broad variety of options, like made-to-order omelets and sandwiches, as well as a selection of internationally inspired cuisines alongside American favorites and home-inspired comfort foods like fried chicken, a KSU tradition on Thursdays. You can also look forward to special themed menus such as our Stingers Steakhouse series and our annual crawfish boil, along with fun events like game night with your friends. We believe that food brings people together, and having a meal plan is a great way to ensure that you have those memory-making college experiences by dining on campus. While students can't beat the convenience and community of eating on campus, there are ample options available for getting your food to go, from the Grubhub app to the Takeout Club at the dining halls. Regardless of whether you're craving chips and queso, wanting to grab a pizza from the dining hall to heat up late night, or getting Chick-fil-A nugget trays for your study group, University Dining has you covered. We have several meal plan options available for both residential and commuter students, and our meal plans can save you both time and money. Our access and weekly meal plans include discounted entries into Stingers and the Commons. Plus, we offer dining dollars, which students can use to purchase food and beverages sales tax free from any on-campus restaurant, including takeout from the dining halls. You can even pay with dining dollars when ordering on campus through the Grubhub app, picking something up at the market, our on-campus convenience store, or getting a snack from one of the vending machines around campus. All residential students receive a meal plan based on their earned credit hours as a part of their room and board expenses. However, this cost is billed separately from the housing fees. Students can change or upgrade their residential plan up to the drop-add deadline at the end of the first week of each semester. Our website, dining.kennesaw.edu, offers a wealth of information about how to access these services and more. Commuter students can go there to build a customized plan, or you can let us do the work and select one of the pre-built residential meal plans. You can also review our on-campus dining hours, locations, and learn more about our meal plans. So go to dining.kennesaw.edu so you can purchase or upgrade your meal plan and start enjoying some of our delicious food and expand your menu of options. While you're there, you can also learn about student employment in university dining. We're not only committed to delivering you the best quality foods, service, and experiences every day, but we also employ students. Once more, go to dining.kennesaw.edu to learn about student employment, pay, and perks. Thank you for taking the time to review our dining options. We look forward to seeing you in one of our dining halls or delivering a takeout option for you next time you get hungry. See you soon.
Great. So that video we think highlights some of the perks of eating on campus at KSU. We have a lot of great options here. Once you get to KSU, you'll see we have 2 award-winning dining halls and some great retail options as well. So first I want to mention that university dining falls within our campus services family. So campus services includes departments you've heard me and others talk about this summer, including housing and residence life, parking and transportation, university stores, and a lot more. So we have 13 different departments in the campus services family, and university dining is one that we love a lot because the food is so great on campus. So first up, before we dive into the differences in our meal plans, commuter meal plans versus residential meal plans, I do want to explain that residential students automatically receive a meal plan when they live on campus at KSU. So if you have a confirmed room booking, you're moving in this week, we can't wait to see you, and just know you automatically receive a meal plan as part of your living on campus experience. Commuter students, you don't automatically receive a meal plan, but you can opt into one, and our options on campus are so great that you're gonna want to. So now let's talk about meal plans. Let's dive in, Kim. Are you ready?
Everybody's favorite topic.
Yes, especially right now. We've had some changes to our meal plans recently, and so we want to give you that information first. So Kim, let's talk about commuter meal plans first. So can you tell us a little bit about these mix and match meal plans commuter students can purchase?
So our commuter students have a wide variety of schedules. So what we did in university dining is we developed a meal plan structure that allows our students to mix and match to their own personal schedules, creating their own customized meal plan. Those meal plans consist of meals or entries into our dining halls across both campuses, which are access plans which can be utilized throughout the entire semester but expire at the end of the semester, or dining dollars. Those dining dollars can be utilized at any of our campus restaurants as well as in our markets and in some of our vending locations. Those dining dollars, if not used in full during the fall semester, will roll to your spring semester, which create a very flexible option for commuters who are on the go.
Great job. So if I'm a commuter student, how do I know which meal plan to choose? How do I know what might be best for my schedule?
So there are a couple factors that we take into consideration when suggesting a meal plan for our commuter students. First is how many weeks you're going to be on campus. This semester is slightly unique with the announcement that we will be going virtual after our Thanksgiving break. So we want to make sure that our commuters are taking that into consideration. So normally we would have a 16-week semester for our commuters, but on campus it's looking more like a 14-week semester. So we take the number of weeks that you're on campus times the number of days or number of meals per week that you want to dine with us. Using a little bit of math, then you take where you want to dine into consideration, whether you think you'll be dining more in the dining halls or in our retail outlets. But we suggest a nice mix of both because it seems to work well for our students and give them a lot of variety and options during the semester. If anybody has any questions in regards to the perfect meal plan for yourself or as a parent for your student, we take personal calls into the meal plan office, or you can stop by the meal plan office in each of our dining halls, and we'll be glad to help you customize a plan that fits your schedule.
They'll help you work the math. So if you're trying to do the math in your head and you're kind of confused, the meal plan team is ready to help you. What I like to tell students if they're trying to figure out what their meal plan should be is, how many times a week are you going to need breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and then multiply that by the days of the week times the 14 weeks this semester, and that'll give you a rough starting point, I think, right, Kim?
Absolutely.
I think our meal plans are great because you can start off with a little bit and add on, or you can start off with a lot and then you're set for the whole semester. But you never know what might come up. So I think sometimes students will start off the semester without a ton of meals because they want to add on, they want to see how often they eat on campus, but then they're at Chick-fil-A every day, or they're grabbing a Frappuccino from Starbucks every day, and they end up probably needing more than they thought at the beginning. Do you see that a lot?
Absolutely. We see a lot of rebuys throughout the semester. That is one of the convenient things about the commuter meal plan, is that you can add on to it throughout the remainder of the semester.
Yep.
But we do recommend that you take into consideration the full semester, because the more you buy, the better of the deal you get. So the per meal price on our access plans goes down as you purchase more meals. And then in our dining dollar structure, you actually get bonuses for purchasing more dining dollars. So you basically get free money into your account. Keep in mind that those dining dollars are sales tax free in our operation, so you can utilize those dining dollars in retail and save on the sales tax that you would have paid using debit or credit.
Yeah, so don't leave that money on the table.
Absolutely.
Get the bonus of those dining dollars and extra meal entries. So Kim, how can they purchase a commuter meal plan right now if they want to buy one right now? Where do they go?
You can just go to mealplans.kennesaw.edu. On the meal plans page, you'll not only see the option to purchase a commuter meal plan, but you can find more information detailing out the different options. As well as throughout the semester, you can actually check your balance of your meal plan there.
Yep.
In case you want to consider adding more. That website will be available throughout the entire semester, but students are more than welcome to stop by our meal plan office if there's any questions.
Yeah, and we have parents too that will want to check in and see if their student has what they need, right? So parents can also use their students' information to log into that meal plan site as well. Can parents access that information
We encourage the students to log in, because you will need your net ID and password.
Got it. So parents, if you're wondering, ask your student to log in, so the student can tell you, I have this many dining dollars left, or I'm all out of meal entries and I need some more for the semester. So let's switch gears. We're going to talk about residential meal plans. So we've gotten a lot of questions all summer about residential meal plans, since all of our residents need to have one when they're living on campus. So Kim, can you talk about some of the recent updates that have been made to our residential meal plans for first year students?
So we have some really exciting news. It's not only for first year, but for all of our underclassmen students. So anybody who has 59 or less earned credit hours fall into our underclassmen category. These students, recently we kind of reevaluated the plans based off the adjustments in the online versus in-class courses, plus the virtual weeks at the end of the semester, as well as some service adjustments that Shane will get into in a little while. But we reevaluated the large meal plans of the underclassmen students, and we've decided to reduce those slightly and kind of readjust them to make them more flexible for all of our students. Those plans were our weekly 10 and 12 that were valued at $1,910. We've now reduced those down to $1,710. They have changed from a weekly plan to an access plan. And our new default plan is an Access 165, which gives you 165 meals for the entire semester, and then 405 dining dollars. Students can also select a higher dining dollar plan and go down to the Access 135 with 625 dining dollars.
Yeah, so there's a good mix. Good mix between dining dollars and meal entries. So you can either choose the plan that has 165, which means you can eat in the dining hall more, or you can choose the plan with more dining dollars if you think that maybe going to Chick-fil-A all the time or Starbucks is going to be more your style. So there's options.
Yeah, and we recommend students have till the end of ad drop to make changes to that meal plan selection. So we recommend students come on campus, get their feet wet, understand their schedule, get their traffic patterns down, and then make their meal plan selection as necessary. But you can make changes at any time up until ad drop. At that point, then the meal plan selection is going to stay. And I believe that date is August 21st.
That's right. Friday, August 21st is your add drop deadline. So you have to make changes to it before that Friday, and that's the Friday after classes start. So you have 1 full week to change your mind if you want to for whatever meal plan you have right now. So Kim, could you go back and explain the difference between these plans that our underclass students have this semester compared to what they had, those original weekly plans?
Yeah, absolutely. So the weekly plans that we had before were 10 or 12 meals per week that you would utilize throughout the weekly period and would reset. We decided when we were looking at changing the plans that given the current nature of our environment and everything that's going on, that we wanted to provide as much flexibility as possible for our students. So we did that by changing the plans to a similar structure to our upperclassmen, and it's an access plan that allows you to access all your meals at once, which will be the first day of move-in for these students, and allow them to utilize them, at their own rate. So more or less whatever week they want to choose. So it gives them a little bit more flexibility. It also, in doing so, again, we increase the dining dollars allowed so that if any student is not able to utilize all of their dining dollars in the current semester, more will flow over to the spring semester. So we are keeping flexibility, changes in schedules, changing in traffic patterns, all in mind when we were trying to accommodate our students and also reduce the overall cost because we know it's a significant cost to our students and parents.
Yeah, that sounds great. Those changes sound like important changes that take into those flexible needs that our students are definitely going to have this fall, I think. And one more thing I want to mention is that the checking of the balance is going to be really important, I think, with these new access plans. Students are going to have those meals up front. So last year with those weekly plans, you knew you had 10 or 12 meals to use anytime you wanted to during the week, but now you're gonna have a whole bunch of meals you can use at the very beginning of the semester. So students will need to be checking their meal plan balance throughout the semester to either one, make sure that you're using your meal entries and that you're using those dining dollars, but also so that if you're running low, you can add onto that balance. But we hear that a lot with our access plans. I got to the end of the semester and I needed to use all of my meal entries all at one time, but you don't have to do that. You can budget them out throughout the semester so that you're making sure that you're getting the best use possible of those meal entries.
Yeah, one of the great things about the weekly plan is it kind of allows you, it does the budgeting for you.
That's right.
So it's important when you're getting all of these meals up front that you're maintaining that. Keep in mind that assuming everything goes back to normal for the spring semester, fingers crossed, we will be going back to the weekly plans for the spring semester. So this is a one-time adjustment to the meal plan. Obviously, as things progress, we will continue to evaluate our meal plan structure and make changes as necessary. But we're trying to keep the new needs and requirements of our students in mind, as well as the changes to our service that Shane will touch on in a little while.
Yeah, and then the question I can already anticipate that this question has been asked, what are the hours during move-in? And so we're gonna cover those. We will get to that question because the dining halls will be open for move-in, so give us just a couple minutes and we will get there. But Kim, for our upper class residential students, are they experiencing any changes to their meal plans?
So our upperclassmen plans are a lot smaller than our underclassmen plans. So based off the number of days of service and the service levels offered, we think that the plans are still appropriate for this population of students. So upperclassmen will have their normal plan, which the default plan is an Access 50 with 50 dining dollars, and still have the option to select an Access 20 with 300 dining dollars as an alternative. Now these upperclassmen can opt into our new underclassmen plan. If previously you made a determination that you wanted a underclassmen plan, you will have received an email communicating that you will need to reselect that considering the plan options have changed. That also brings up the fact that all students will have to go back in and reevaluate, all residential students, reevaluate their meal plan selection with these changes. We want to give you the opportunity to make your decision based off the new plan structure versus the selection you made under the old plan details.
Yeah, so if you selected a meal plan already, or if you had a default residential meal plan prior to today, really, right? If they had that pre-existing meal plan and they changed it, they need to go back and reevaluate. You don't necessarily have to change it. You might not want to change it this time, but you should look at those options because we kind of reset all of our residents to the new default meal plans instead of what they might have previously opted into.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes, and if you find out that, or if you believe that these options are not enough to cover your needs while you're on campus, keep in mind all residential students can select from the commuter options as well and add to their plan, whether they do that now at the beginning of the semester or they choose to do that throughout the semester as they're checking their balance and seeing their accounts get low.
Great. So just to recap a couple things, Kim, how do students purchase a meal plan, and is there a deadline that they have to do this by?
So for commuter students, there is no deadline, and they will go on mealplans.kennesaw.edu to purchase their plan. That can be done at any point in time during the semester. We really encourage to at least start off with a small plan at the beginning of the semester and figure out your traffic patterns. For residential students, all meal plan selections are going to be made in AllExpress. You'll automatically receive the default meal plan selection. Again, those changed for the underclassmen, so everybody was reset to the default. But you can make your selections there. You have until add drop to make those selections, but any additions to your meal plan above and beyond the mandatory requirement will be allowed throughout the semester. So dining dollars or meals can be added on throughout the semester.
Perfect. And that information is available at mealplans.kennesaw.edu. So as we're talking, you can pull that website up right now while we're talking and go explore these options that Kim just broke down for all of us. So thanks so much, Kim. Shane's going to be in the hot seat next.
All right, all right.
So I know a lot of our viewers want to know, what are the hours going to look like this semester, since it will be such a different semester than the past. So let's talk about the dining hall hours first. So what can students expect for those hours this semester?
Absolutely, no, and that's a great question. I think one of the things we want to keep in mind too is we prepared our hours and the different ways that we're going to be making sure we serve the students. There were two big points that we took into consideration, and it was, first off, how can we make sure that we keep everybody safe and healthy? But secondly, how can we also make sure that we're giving them as close to the normal dining experience that they would normally have with us? And so we took those two main points as we kind of thought through all these scenarios. And what we came up with is we're actually going to be operating out of our dining halls on both campuses 7 days a week from 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. So it does offer them a large variety of time to be able to come in, to be able to utilize their meal plans, but also make sure that it gives our staff and our team the adequate time we need to make sure that we're properly cleaning and sanitizing all of the multiple touch points and things like that each night before we reopen for the following day as well.
And so that 10:30 to 7 time period, I know we probably have students that are wondering, what are my options before 10:30? And if I need to eat a later dinner, what are my options after 7? So can you talk about those options?
Absolutely, great questions, and ones that we would expect. One of the things to keep in mind is we do have different retail operations, which we'll talk about a little bit more here in a little bit, but we do have those retail operations will be available earlier in the day so that you can utilize those for breakfast options as well as later on in the day. So if you normally eat after 7 o'clock, we'll have other options available as we kind of look at a combination of how our dining operation works. There's options from 7 a.m. all the way until 9 o'clock at night between a variety of different locations. So there definitely are other options that give you that access before and also after those new traditional dining period times that we have for the Commons and Stingers.
And the Commons and Stingers are awesome. Some of the best food I've ever had on any college campus ever, period. Like, it ends here. KSU has awesome food. So for our dining halls, there are going to be 3 different ways students can eat this semester. So Shane, can you break down those 3 ways to dine with us this fall?
Absolutely. So one of the things, and I know this has probably been the biggest question, is are we going to be able to eat in? Am I still going to have that all you care to eat aspect of the dining hall? And the answer to that is yes. We are still going to be able to host people inside of the building, allow people to dine in inside with us, go back to stations for multiple visits if you would like to. So that piece of it is not going away.
People are cheering.
Yeah.
They're cheering
and I
right
hope
now.
so.
They're like,
That was
Great
big
news.
news and something that we were definitely excited
Yes.
about. We'll talk a little bit about some specifics that we've put in place to make sure those guests dining in with us do stay safe. but that is something that we're going to have. But on top of that, we also realistically know some people may want to take their food out or want to take it back to their residence hall to eat. So we also do offer a takeout program. The takeout program is free and you're automatically signed up for it for all of our residential students, so all of our residential meal plan holders. If you come in, you just let the cashier know, hey, I'm wanting to take my meal out today. You would still need to come into the building. You kind of prepare your own meal, and then you would be able to take it out with you in a to-go container as well. And the third option that is really kind of in addition to in kind of just the current state of life that we're in, and giving people options for maybe people who don't feel comfortable coming into the building, is Grubhub. We have an extended Grubhub menu where students can use their dining dollars as well as their meal swipes in order to go onto the Grubhub app, place your order, allow our team to be able to put everything together for you, and then you can still get that same meal, but not have to necessarily come into the building and be around a large quantity of people if that's something that you're not quite comfortable with yet.
And so to me, takeout and Grubhub might mean the same thing, like to somebody like me that doesn't know the difference. So could you explain, even though you just touched on this, what the true differences are between that takeout experience, coming in and getting my own food, versus using the Grubhub app?
Absolutely. Yeah, with the takeout experience, you can come in when you're ready. So I get out of class, I want to go ahead and go grab something, but I want to take it back, or it's a nice day, so I want to go eat outside. I can come into the building at that point. I create and kind of fill my to-go box in any way that I want to, and then I can leave with that. The difference is you do have to come into the building. You are still going through the lines to get what you would like, but then you are able to still take it out. And with the Grubhub experience, you're taking that and you're placing your order online. Probably going to have a little bit of a wait time before you can come in to get it, so it'll just take some kind of planning in advance if you're going to be utilizing that app. But then it gives you the opportunity to just come to a separate entrance. You tell us you're there for your order, we give it to you, and you can take off with it, and you don't have to come through the main area of the dining facility. It just allows our team to serve you in a little bit of a different way.
And we have a whole new Grubhub, a whole new hub,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So where's the hub located on each campus?
So if you're looking at the front of the Commons, to the right of the main entrance, there is an ATM machine there, and then there's a double set of doors. That's where the hub, the pickup area at the Commons, is going to be at. And then for Stingers on our Marietta campus, it's actually going to be right inside of the foyer when you walk in, so that way you're not having to come all the way into the building. You step in, let us know you're there, we'll grab your food for you, and then you can take it right back out.
Perfect. So that was our dining hall, kind of plans for operation for the dining halls. Now let's switch gears before we start talking about safety precautions.
Yeah, absolutely.
And talk about our retail operations, which includes Chick-fil-A, Moe's. I know our students are so excited on the Kennesaw campus for Moe's to open this fall. So Shane, what are some things that our students can expect in the retail operations?
Absolutely. Well, just like you were talking about, we do have a lot of great brands on campus that students are used to seeing, from Chick-fil-A, Moe's, Starbucks. We even have Hisho Sushi, which is an in-house brand for our sushi concept as well. And one of the things that's important to us in those retail locations, the same thing, trying to offer as close of an experience as we possibly can, but also keeping people safe. So we have gone completely cashless in our retail locations, so that way there's no physical transfer of money or anything like that. We have also are going to be moving many of our locations to a Grubhub only concept. So that way you can place that order in advance. You're not having to wait in lines. You're not having to kind of stand as your orders are being prepared. You can follow it on your app. When it's ready, you can come up and grab it and kind of avoid the crowds, help keep everybody safe in that way, and then also be able to kind of work it along your own schedule out of all of our retail locations as well. So a couple of big changes there, just again to help make sure we're keeping everybody safe, but still giving you the same variety and options that you're used to out of those locations.
So if you're like me and you need your coffee in the morning to function,
that's right, you
can wake up and order your coffee on your phone and go right to Starbucks and pick up your Starbucks order on your way to class, and you don't have to wait in what our returning students know can sometimes be a long line in the
Correct.
social science building. No more lines, hopefully. That's the goal with these Grubhub apps, is that that our students will be able to place an order, walk up, grab it, and head to class, and keep everybody safe. I think that's the heart of everything that dining is doing, is working hard to keep all of our students and our staff that might be eating on campus as well safe.
That's it.
So Shane, how can they find hours to these retail locations?
So if you go onto our website dining.kennesaw.edu, there you can find all of our hours of operation. You can find links to our meal plans. It's a great place where you can go if you have any questions of us, to go and ask questions. We also have frequently asked questions there that are listed that you can go through as well, to just help kind of jumpstart any of your dining needs. That's really the best place to start and get that information. And if there's additional questions, always know that we're available and ready to help as well.
And our website team updates that website as soon as we have changes. So as soon as anything changes, we are keeping that website as up to date as we can, and that's really the best place to go in case anything changes after today.
Absolutely.
And to get the most up-to-date information as far as hours go. So next up, we're going to transition to talk about how students are going to be kept safe in our dining halls and at our retail locations when they come and eat with us this fall. So Shane, you're still in the hot seat.
All right.
So first off, before Shane starts to talk about each of the things that we're doing, and the list is long, we've got a lot of ways that we're keeping our students safe this year. I want to make sure everybody knows that Campus Services has a website dedicated to this information as well. So if you are at home and you have questions about what dining is doing, but also want to know maybe what housing is doing, or what the bookstores are doing, or even what parking and transportation is doing, we have all of that information on our website ready for you to access right now, and it should answer a lot of your questions. So that website, just for people that are at home, is campusservices.kennesaw.edu/coronavirus. And that has all of our information that relates to campus services departments, but it also links to other university information as well. So we get a lot of questions throughout the summer on social media, like what should I expect if I get sick, or if my roommate comes into contact with somebody that might be sick. Those kinds of what-if questions are all answered on our website. So please check that out. But now I know Shane has prepared a list of all of the ways that dining is preparing to keep everybody safe. So Shane, could you dive into some of those?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things in first task that we took on was just training, as we looked at how is this going to look for our team, what are additional requirements that we need to do to make sure we're not only keeping our students safe, but also keep our staff safe as well. We definitely took on, over the past 2 weeks as our team has been returning, some in-person small group training on additional expectations, additional cleaning and sanitation lists, and just requirements that we're going to have of our team to make sure we're keeping your students safe is something that is the biggest priority to us. So training is a big piece of that we've taken on for our staff. We are requiring additional personal protective equipment, or PPE. All of our staff will be wearing masks, they'll be wearing gloves. All of our, or the majority of our stations now will be served. So the self-serve aspect, other than in like our beverage stations in a couple of small areas, our team will be serving those, so that way it's only our team, touching the tongs, and we're replacing those tongs every hour. It's our team making sure that we're changing our gloves out frequently, so we can assure that there is no cross-contamination from student to student, that we're able to maintain that and make sure the food is being passed on in as safe a manner as possible. So making more of the stations served instead of self-serve is a big step. We are focusing on social distancing as well. We have removed tables and chairs to where all of our seats are 6 feet apart now. We have set up distinct lines with stanchions for each area and put 6-foot markers there, so that way it can help keep the students separated when they are standing still and waiting to be served. It's also important, and one of the things that we ask is if we put things in place, that our students are helping with that as well. So we do ask that our students are wearing masks as well when they're waiting in line, when they're going to get a refill, things like that. And obviously, as soon as they get back to their seat and want to start eating, that mask can come right off. But just additional ways that we can help protect each other and keep each other safe. Those are just a few options and different ways that we are doing that. We're also, as I mentioned earlier, with our adjusted hours, we're making sure that we are cleaning all those high touch points. There's a lot more emphasis that's going into into cleaning tables and chairs with a product and a chemical that has a very high kill rate on the coronavirus, that allows us to make sure that in between each guest we're cleaning tables, chairs, armrests, legs of arms, every piece that could possibly be touched, and wiping those areas down too. So it's just of the utmost importance this year. Even down to things like adding plexiglass and glass barriers at those areas where we cannot have social distancing, where the student needs to step up to grab their food. We just have these additional kind of protections in place to make sure that we're focused on everybody staying safe when they're dining with us.
And extra hand sanitizing stations will be available all throughout
100%.
the dining halls,
Yep.
And at all of the pickup locations as well. So if they're getting their food from the front, or if they're going to Grubhub, there'll be extra hand sanitizing stations there as well, right?
And that's a great point. Absolutely. Our buildings already had a lot of hand sanitizing stations in them, but we have increased those even more. We'll be encouraging the students to use the hand sanitizer once they come in the building. Use it again if they're going to be touching anything, just to make sure that we are focused on that safety. But yes, hand sanitizer is a great point of something that we've even increased that even above and beyond what our standards were before.
And we're using more single-use items as well, disposable cups and things like that, so that there's no risk of any sort of passing of germs, right?
That's correct.
Yep.
All of our cutlery will be a single-use, single touch, where the guest just touches the one that they are getting, and then when they're done, they throw it away, so that we make sure. Same thing with plates and cups. All of those will be a single dispense, single-use item. Again, so that way they can still have that dining experience, but when they do, those are the measures we've taken to make sure that we keep them as safe as possible.
Okay, great. So we're about to transition into some of our questions that we've gotten from our viewers. But first, we've gotten a question this summer a lot, not a lot, but an important question I think that we have to ask, and that's if a student is in a high-risk population and they are concerned about coming into the dining halls, or if they have dietary restrictions or allergens, things like that, what are some services that dining provides to support those students?
Absolutely, great question. So one of the first things we do is we do have a label on all of our food items, so that way guests can see if there's any common allergens in that, and knowing what those are to be able to steer away from them if that's the case. But if anybody has any severe allergies or just any concerns at all, we always ask to reach out to us. You can reach out to us through the website. It can give us opportunity to either respond virtually to you, set up an online meeting, or even we'd be happy to always bring people in person and do tours, show them areas of, hey, this would be a great place for you to focus, try here and here. We also do offer our menus, so that way you can kind of see what's going to be available before you come in as well. It's just another great option of a way to kind of know what those are, and knowing yourself and what your dietary restrictions may be. It'll allow you to be able to kind of plan accordingly based on that day. But we always ask, let us have that conversation with you. Let us see how we can serve and how we can help you. And if there ever is any severe items or any severe circumstances, we can also help you walk down that path as well.
Yeah, I think this new landscape of COVID-19 and everything that is going on with our students, of course we do have some high-risk students that will be a part of our residential population, and we acknowledge that, and we can make the appropriate accommodations for those students.
Mm-hmm.
So we encourage you to reach out to our meal plan office through our contact form on our website. We do have a meal plan exemption process for those in need for medical circumstances, and we'll be glad to walk you through that process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great information. All right, so now we are going to turn it over to Catherine, who has some questions from all of you, and we've got right at 20-ish minutes or so to answer all of your questions. So take it away, Catherine.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thank you so much for submitting your questions. We will most likely not get to all of them, so just putting that out there. But there are some that came in a few times, so we'll definitely want to touch on those. So one question that got asked a few times was, okay, if I would need to add entries or dining dollars later in the semester, can I do that, and how?
Yeah, absolutely. Residential and commuter students can always add to their meal plan throughout the semester. that can be done through mealplans.kennesaw.edu. And you will see a link to purchase a meal plan, and you can add at any point in time. If you ever have any issues or any questions in regards to what you should purchase or how to go about it, please reach out to the meal plan office through our contact form on our website. Keep in mind, any purchases made through mealplans.kennesaw.edu, those will be applied to your student account when you check out at the end, and you'll be able to make payment for those through your AllExpress account, just like you would for your tuition and other fees.
Great.
Great. So we had a few students and parents talking about the 3-square plan that is no longer an option, but they really enjoyed that plan because it gave them more entries into the dining halls. What is your recommendation for those students who are looking to eat in the dining halls more often and we're looking forward to having a plan of that sort?
With the reduction in our dining hall hours, since we don't have 3 complete meal periods open in the dining hall, we restricted the 3-square plan because the intention was to have a breakfast, lunch, and dinner period. For students who think they would like to dine in the dining halls during that period, during our open hours, we recommend that they reach out to the meal plan office to come up with the appropriate access plan to add on. Keep in mind, dining dollars can be utilized in the dining halls as well at a discounted rate to our normal door rate. So some students, when they run out of entries into the dining hall, will dip into their dining dollars and utilize those in the dining hall as well. So sometimes it may not make sense to add a full access plan. It may make sense to add on a few extra dining dollars, and that gets you by for the full semester. But please reach out. We will help you customize to fit exactly what you're looking for. But we wanted to make sure that we weren't offering any plans given the restricted hours in the dining hall that would not allow the students to get the full value.
And what is the deadline for making any changes to meal plans, and is there one?
For residential students, if you're changing from the default plan or change your mind a few times between now and add drop, which is Friday, August 21st, all plans must be selected by then. For commuter students or for anybody who wants to add on to their meal plan, that can be done throughout the semester at any point in time.
Awesome. So will the dining halls be open after the Thanksgiving break?
And that's a great question. So since the university is going to all virtual after Thanksgiving break, we do know that there's still going to be students on campus. So our meal plans and our dining facilities will remain open those last 2 weeks after the Thanksgiving break.
Great. There's been a few people asking about the Takeout Club, and there used to be a fee to be a part of the Takeout Club. There's been a change. So can you go over the takeout portion of the meal plans again? And is the fee reduction just for commuter students or just for residential students or for everyone? I think there's a confusion about that.
Gotcha.
Let me take that one?
Sure.
So this year, given the current circumstances, we have decided to waive the fee for the to-go program. It's important for us with the social distancing and reduction of seating in our dining halls to give an option to our students and be very flexible with them. So we want to make sure you get the food that you need, but you also feel comfortable doing so, and you also have the flexibility of taking that food to go. This is a one-time fee waiver. Don't get too comfortable. We will see those fees come back, especially when we return to our sustainable to-go program utilizing a reusable container, which we may transition to later this semester. However, obviously this semester we've waived the fees. But it's important for our students to understand that we take their safety really seriously. We also understand that this is a very challenging time and flexibility is of the utmost importance. So we wanted to make sure that we could offer this service at no cost to our students.
Great. Can we talk about some breakfast options since the hours are reduced in the dining halls, and what students can do before 10:30 if they're looking to get something to eat on campus?
Absolutely. Well, definitely we have our Chick-fil-A and our Starbucks, which are great places to be able to go and get breakfast at. And then when we do open at 10:30, we will still have a breakfast component for those that do want to get a little bit of a later breakfast or kind of have that brunch option. So there's definitely a few options there for them to still get that traditional breakfast meal.
And the markets, I'll also add on,
Great
our
point, yeah.
markets are great, convenient food options on both campuses. So the market is located on the Kennesaw campus in the Student Center and on the Marietta campus, central to the housing areas near the upper class apartments in Marietta. But that's a great place for students to use their dining dollars. And I think a lot of students don't realize they can use their dining dollars at the market. So whether you are looking for a quick breakfast on the way to class and you want to grab a muffin and a cup of coffee, they have those kinds of food items. But you can also purchase those things and stock up your room if you want. I know they have parfait cups and they have muffins and coffee. They have all kinds of stuff there. So that's a great option for students as well. So you are both using your meal plan, using those dining dollars, but also maybe stocking up some snacks and stuff in your room.
Yeah,
And
great
one thing
point.
I don't think people realize is the university dining program here at KSU actually prepares
That's right.
grab-and-go items for the market.
Fresh
So-
fruit. There's all kinds of
different
stuff.
from a convenience store. We are making freshly made food, providing those packaged safely for our students. So for a convenient option to grab on the way to class or to stock up like Tiffany referred to, those are actually being produced in-house. So it's the same items that they would have been receiving in the dining halls, but just through a more convenient platform earlier in the morning.
And it just adds to the options, really, because you can get something freshly produced by dining that you purchase at the market, or you can get an Otis Spunkmeyer muffin that is prepackaged and still delicious.
Can we talk about some of the locations where we can use dining dollars? So we talked about the market, but what are some other places and options where students can eat across both campuses?
Oh, absolutely. And really, dining dollars can be utilized in any of our dining locations, whether it
Anywhere
be
you
the
can buy
market.
food.
That's correct. But that also includes our Chick-fil-A and our Moe's and our Starbucks and our Hisho sushi. It also includes our dining halls, where we have a dining dollar rate where students can come in and utilize their dining dollars there as well. So true, that's the best way to think about it. Anywhere on campus that offers food, those dining dollars can be utilized there.
Keep in mind you can actually use them in vending machines as well.
That's true.
Although we recommend that you come get nicely prepared food from us, by all means you can utilize those in most of the vending machines on campus.
Through using your talent card.
And how does the rollover work? So if there are dining dollars or meal plan entries at the end of the semester, what happens to them?
So dining dollars and meal plan entries are treated a little bit differently. The meal plan entries will expire at the end of the semester. So they're meant to be able to utilize for the fall semester in this case, or the spring semester after the first of the year. The dining dollars, however, are a little bit more flexible in the fact that it's a declining balance account. So throughout the fall semester, as you utilize your dining dollars, they're deducted from your account. But if there's a balance, it will roll over from fall to spring, and then they will expire at the end of the spring semester. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility to kind of balance your purchases accordingly to your schedule, and then also allow you to retain those for another semester and utilize those next semester if necessary. Given the current circumstances, it's really important for us to take into consideration that this isn't a normal fall semester for our students. So we wanted to offer our residential students that are underclassmen more dining dollars, understanding that, you know, this isn't a normal semester. And
That's right.
while we want you to dine with us more regularly, we don't know what those schedules look like. So we wanted to give them the option to have those roll over.
And I will add, because I think at this point, parents or students might get confused, but you do get a new meal plan in the spring semester as well. So those dining dollars roll over to the spring, but they are added on to whatever your new meal plan is in the spring. So
Correct. And again, just to remind everyone, assuming normal operations in the spring, we will be going back to the original meal plan structure for the year, which is our weekly 12 for our underclassmen at $1,910.
And that information will be communicated to residential students and commuter students as we get closer to the end of the fall semester. I know dining is going to want to take this semester to see how it goes before they make any decisions about the spring, and so that information will be available on the dining website.
Correct.
Yep.
So someone asked, can students eat on both campuses?
Great question.
Yeah, that is a very
Absolutely.
good question. Yep, and that's it. The answer is
Absolutely.
yes. KSU has 2 campuses. Their meal plans allow them to utilize those meals or dining dollars in any of our dining locations on either campus for sure.
Yep.
Wonderful. So we've got some students moving in this week. We're very excited, and I know they're all excited to get into the dining halls. So can we talk about what does dining look like, with move-in, and when do the dining halls actually open?
Absolutely, no, great question. And we will start our 10:30 to 7 hours of operation on the first day of move-in on each of our campus. So that would be the 12th on the Kennesaw campus, and then Friday the 14th for the Marietta campus. So yes, rest assured, once you move in, we will have dining open and ready for you, and your meal plans will be activated and ready for you to start utilizing.
So come eat during move-in. Come to the dining hall and get something to eat.
Yep.
Wonderful. So we've answered a lot of questions, and I think maybe we can recap some of those resources that are available for our viewers. So can we recap maybe, where they can reach out to you guys if they have more questions, our websites, hours, and things like that?
Absolutely.
Sure.
So the best place to reach out to us and just to find information in general is on our website. So dining.kennesaw.edu. It's where you can find hours of operation. It's where you can find frequently asked questions. It's where you can find information about our meal plans and dining dollars and how they work. It's also a great place where you can shoot us a note and ask us a question and give us feedback. So we definitely ask that leading up to the semester and once we get into the semester to utilize that resource for sure. So that website, again, dining.kennesaw.edu, that's really the best wealth of information to be able to find what you need or ask the questions so that we can get you what you need.
And that contact form, if you have questions about meal plans, is on the left-hand navigation menu. So when you're looking at the dining website, there's a contact us form. If you click that bottom link, it will pull up a form that will allow you to talk, to communicate really directly with the meal plan team. And once you submit that form, then they'll reach out to you directly through your KSU student email.
And we try to respond to everybody in one business day if possible. Sometimes these questions are challenging, but we do our best to get back to you timely. It's really the most efficient way to reach out to the dining program and get the answer to your questions.
Yeah, thank you everyone so much for your questions. I know that we weren't able to address all of them, but like we said, please feel free to reach out to us, and thank you for your patience and your feedback during this time. So with that, we'll close out the Q&A and back to you guys to wrap up.
Thank you so much, Catherine, and thanks you guys for asking questions. We know it's been a long summer of unknowns, and now we're finally here, and classes officially start 1 week away from today, which feels crazy, but we are so excited to welcome our students back to campus. I know that it has been a long time without students. When our students left at the end of March, it's been a really long summer without you guys. So we're so excited to have some life back on campus and to see some friendly faces. And we are so excited for move-in this week. So Shane did a great job of telling you how you can get in touch with us after today. Dining.kennesaw.edu is the best place for you to go to get all of this information we've covered. I'll also plug our social media. So follow us at EatKSU on Instagram. And on Facebook. Keep up with us to see all the fun things we have going on in our dining halls and in our dining program this year. Move-in is just a couple days away, so we'll see you guys soon. I can't wait for an exciting year. So go Owls. Thanks so much for tuning in.